Fishin' Affliction. Hello.
It's time to wet a line. It's Fishin' Affliction time with those who got it bad.
Well, mom and dad's grab the kids, it's time for the fishing show. Me and the big dog's gonna go catch 'em down at the fishing hole. Well, you better stick around, 'cause you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Grab your hats, grab your baits, don't forget your poles. We're gonna fire up that old Ranger boat and head to the fishing hole. We're gonna try to catch a biggin', yeah, that's what we're wishing. 'Cause me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah. Yeah, and we've got it bad.
I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Aunt Defo, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hi, I'm Denny Brower, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Mark Menendez, and I've got that fishing affliction.
I'm Bobby Lane, and I got that fishing affliction. Hi, I'm Chris Lane, and I got that fishing affliction.
I'm Shaw Drigsby, and I got that fishing affliction.
Just like me. Here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here.
Come here.
Well, folks, it's time to wet a line because it's Fishing Affliction time, and welcome into today's episode, a certified fan favorite from the HD video vaults of Fishing Affliction TV, part one of the A-Team and the A-Rig, as Team Fishing Affliction throws that Alabama rig for the very first time down there on legendary Lake Guntersville. Today's Fishing Affliction product spotlight is on the great sock selection from Wigwam, and be sure to check out that great Fishing Affliction gear that's there at our online store. Can't get enough Fishing Affliction? Then be sure to subscribe to us there at our YouTube channel, and at the end of the show, you'll meet the Fishing Affliction Facebook Friend of the Week. So sit back as we continue with our fall fishing series featuring legendary Lake Guntersville with part one of the A-Team and the A-Rig, as Team Fishing Affliction throws that Alabama rig down there on legendary Lake Guntersville, right here on Fishing Affliction TV. Well, folks, if you're going to learn how to throw that Alabama rig, there's only one lake that we recommend to do so, and that's the legendary Lake Guntersville. Loaded with grass, loaded with big bass, and you can get all your supplies there at Waterfront and visit with one of the finer guides on Guntersville, Mr. Dawg Campbell. Doug, if I want to come fishing Lake Guntersville, Alabama, you are the man I need to see.
Well, we put some people on some fish years past. We've been guiding on the lake for 23 years. I've also got Waterfront Tackle located on Lake Guntersville, which is the largest tackle shop. So the days we're not on the water, we're dealing with fishermen anyway, so it keeps us updated on, the trends, what patterns are working, what's not working. We're on the water 250 days a year. So, anything from a guide trip to just fishing information, pick up the phone, give us a call, 256-582-6060. We do both crappie trips and bass trips, specialize probably more in the tournament anglers, but it's going to be a great year. We're already having a lot of fish caught on some of the new tactics, such as the Alabama rig, and it's going to be a fun spring. A lot of big fish already being caught, so you get ready to come to Lake Guntersville, look us up, give us a call.
Well, folks, when you head on down to Guntersville, be sure to stop and see Doug there at Waterfront Tackle, and he'll help you out any which way he can, and they are some absolutely fine folks. And I could sure have used Doug's help in trying to figure out what the big dog was talking about when we got there.
One thing you were talking about was the guide deal. Is Doug's one of the leading guides around here. Inside. The guy that's inside at the cash register.
I do not know who you're talking about.
Well, you said something you want about the guides.
Oh, yeah, that was 2.5 hours ago, and that was one nap. You took a nap in between now and that conversation.
Okay, well, now that we're back to the guide thing.
Big Dog, where are we, and how come we're not on the water?
Because it takes about 5 minutes to rig one bait up. Come here and look.
And we have got the master of the Alabama rig. Is that what you've described them as?
Look, I mean, you gotta, before you can go fishing, you got to have bait. Now, when you go to Florida, you have to throw a cast net and catch your bait. Here, you call Pat. Here, you got to get all your hooks on your bait, and then you have to take your Shadowliciouses and put on your bait. Now I'm trying to see which colors I got.
Pat, the last showed all the glory of the Alabama rig, but now we're getting into the technical aspects of actually putting this thing together.
Oh yeah.
And rigging it.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. I mean, you got 5 baits here. Once you get the rig all set up with the swivels on, then it's a matter of getting the swivels opened up and getting, whether you're using jig heads or the swim bait heads. I like the swim bait heads because you can get them through the grass a little better, and you're not going to be snagging the structure that you're fishing.
At this point, at the taping of the show, what does an Alabama rig cost?
On the average?
Yes, on the average.
Probably right around $25–30.
And then by the time you put the hooks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, hooks and baits.
Pack of hooks is about $10.
$40 and $50 in one bait.
Oh yeah.
So let's put it this way.
$10 for a pack of swim baits, $10 for a pack of hooks, $2 a piece for the swivels, and then anywhere from $5 to $10 just for the wire and the head.
You do not want to throw this on cheap line, by the way.
Which is not what we do, but it's my understanding that you heaved one halfway across Lake Guntersville the other day.
I think it's still flying.
Is it still going, Pat?
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, but it was about the next to the last cast, and I did have a bite right before that, and I must have got a nick somehow, but I will say this, I never retied all day, and I might have should have retied at one time. That
was a $50
yeah,
should have retied moment.
That was a pricey error.
This is not something for your children to play with in their crib.
Unless you want them to be aspiring fishermen.
I got one of the other colors.
Well, folks, the A-Team is getting all rigged up to throw that A-rig down there in the wilds of Guntersville. And in a moment, we'll be right back with some more Fishin' Affliction. But speaking of in the wilds, let's go see some pictures from this week's In the Wild. Well, folks, this is Brian Woodard, and he recently was on Percy Priest and caught this dandy largemouth. Great fish, Brian. And folks, this is Rob Robertson with a monster largemouth that he caught while fishing the Barren River area. And folks, here is another monster. And this last one, well, it's not a largemouth. It is a monster muskie caught out of the deep waters of the Barren River up there in Kentucky. Folks, you can email your pictures to us there at pics@fishandaffliction.com, or be sure to upload them to our Facebook page, and maybe you'll see them right here on the big screen.
In the wild. Your pictures in the wild.
At Strike King, it starts with the concept. Next, it's all about perfecting the prototype. Finally, it's about catching a dream.
This is a new prototype crankbait we're working on, Strike King. It's called a 10XD.
Strike King 10XD.
Wow! A 5-bass limit!
Perfection to 25 feet and beyond. Catch your dream.
Smyrna Ready Mix is an established company that handles business daily with integrity and professionalism. Whether you're a general contractor, professional builder, or a do-it-yourself homeowner, SRM has your concrete solutions. With several convenient locations in the Middle Tennessee area to serve you, the only call you need to make is to SRM, ready to serve you with integrity and professionalism.
Before you head out on your next boating trip, be sure to file a float plan with a responsible party that you trust, such as a relative, friend, or local marina.
A float plan is as simple as a piece of paper telling the responsible party where you're going on your boating trip and when you plan to return.
Be sure to leave a contact number, a description of your vessel, the number and names of all people on board the boat, and what time you expect to return.
Help others help you if the unexpected happens by filing a float plan.
Fishin' Affliction's Facebook trail for those who've got it bad. Brought to you by Smyrna Ready Mix.
Well, folks, Facebook. Most everybody's on it, and everybody's heard of it. And if you haven't liked Fishin' Affliction's Facebook page, then we urge you to do so you can be a part of the ever-growing community of Fishin' Affliction fans and participate in our weekly contest, upload your pictures, and even post your tournament trail results there at our Facebook page. Designed to keep you interactive and informed, it's the perfect way to communicate daily for those who've got it bad. Our thanks to Smyrna Ready Mix for sponsoring this segment of the show, and now back to Fishin' Affliction TV.
This is not something for your children to play with in their crib.
Unless you want them to be aspiring fishermen.
Uh-oh, I got one of the other colors.
You have been on a roll with 10-pound largemouth.
Yeah, actually in the last 3 weeks I've got 2 10s, actually over 10s, and 1 11.
Incredible.
So, yeah, and a lot of 4s, 5s, 6s, yeah.
Everyone on the Alabama.
Yep.
Have you had a double yet on your Alabama rig?
I had a double with largemouth. It was 4, I think it was 4 1/4 largemouth and a 2-pound largemouth. And then I had a 7-pound smallmouth and a 3.5-pound smallmouth.
Wow.
So those are the only doubles I've had.
What are you attributing the fact that you're catching these 10-pounders this time of the year?
Well, this time of year is usually when the big fish start, moving up and around the shallow points and getting that opportunity feeding going. And on this lake, 10-pounders are not that rare.
And what a great thing to be able to say. Isn't that?
Oh gosh, yeah. I love it here.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, maybe today on film.
I'm hoping that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Well, we're fired up. If the big dog would ever get these baits ready, maybe we can go fishing, Pat.
So I helped him with the swivels.
You don't have to tell everything.
Well, folks, as you can see, there's a whole lot of preparation to getting that A-rig ready to be thrown on Lake Guntersville. But now that they're rigged and ready to go, it's time for Pat to launch that beautiful Triton boat of his so we can start throwing that Alabama rig. And folks, there's a few things you need to know about throwing that Alabama rig that we're going to get to in just a few moments. But as you can see, it's a rainy day down there in Guntersville, and this is the end of January. And it's a day more suited for duck hunting like that gentleman right there is going to do than it is for bass fishing. But we're covered from head to toe with our outstanding rainwear made by Onyx, and we're going to start fishing in just a few moments as soon as I share a very important tip with the big dog about shooting a television show.
Get to go, no matter what the weather, no matter what the circumstances. It is January, raining. Now, that is not a good idea most of the time. But we're actually having a 50-degree day in January. I mean, the Lord has blessed us, and I think we're going to catch him.
Can I give you one more tip about TV?
Yes.
If you take your mouth muzzle away from it, I might be able to hear what you're saying.
Oh, is that so?
Let me go talk to Pat.
All right, folks, now that that's taken care of, let's hear from the guys as they share an important tip on how to fish that Alabama rig.
One thing, if you don't get hooked up, you don't stop reeling.
Yeah, that's key. Because even the bigger fish, a lot of times they'll just bump it. They won't just engulf it. They'll hit it a few times, like they're nipping at the tail or maybe just spearing it. I don't know, seeing if they can wound it.
But here, just in the last 3 casts, you just had one nail it.
Yeah, he hit it twice, but he didn't get a hold of it. Unfortunately, that happens too. Then again, we don't know it was a bass. I mean, it could have been a gar or something else as well.
Yeah, them big gar like this too, and the stripers really like it.
Oh,
and that one was close in. Close in.
Oh, wow.
You know what? That's bad.
That's the first one of the day anyway. Well, and the good thing I like about the Alabama rig is one thing that Pat was talking about earlier. Look at where the fish is hooked. He's hooked right near the outside of the mouth. It's usually easy to get the bait out. All right, back to work.
Well, folks, while I have the underwater camera out, let me show you what this Alabama rig looks like under the water from the perspective of a fish. You know, you would think with all these wires, these hooks, this weight, that this contraption would not be attractive to a game fish. But folks, it absolutely looks like a school of bait, and that's what these fish are keying on. And you know, if they just get a glimpse of it, by gosh, look at what it looks like. And you tell me if it doesn't look like a tasty school of fish.
What'd I tell you? What did I tell you? A little better fish? He looks like he's pulling harder than that one you had before.
Pretty solid fish.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better.
Now, that fish followed the bait all the way to the boat. I mean, he come out of he hit that bait out of deep water.
That's a nice chunk.
Yeah, we're gonna put this one in the box for the end of the day shot. We'll put him in the box.
Okay, that's a nice fish there.
We got water running.
That water running quick enough.
Alrighty.
Port side, starboard. There you go. Is the plug in? That's the way. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's empty. The plug is in.
Yeah, it's in.
Well, folks, I hope you're enjoying the certified fan favorite of Fishin' Affliction TV as the A-Team is throwing the Alabama rig down there on legendary Lake Guntersville. And in a moment, we'll be right back with some more fishing action. But right now, it's time to head upstairs to the kitchen to see what Miss Vicki Porter's got cooking this week.
In the Skillet with Chef Vicki Porter is brought to you by Cleep.com, turning your precious memories into video treasures.
Welcome to In the Skillet. I'm Vicki Porter, and last time on In the Skillet I showed you those delicious sauteed mushrooms, and today I'm going to show you the perfect complement to those. It's my broiled bacon Swiss turkey burgers. And now for the ingredients. You will need turkey burgers, Dijon mustard, Dale sauce, hamburger seasoning, bacon, Swiss cheese, and sauteed mushrooms. First, we're going to make the sauce for our turkey burgers, and for the sauce we're going to mix together some Dale seasoning and some Dijon mustard. Get this all mixed together. Now take this sauce and spread it out evenly on top of the burgers. Now season each burger with your hamburger seasoning. Now place your turkey burgers in a greased baking dish. Next, it's time to broil our turkey burgers, and we're going to broil them for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side, or until the internal temperature reaches 180. Once your turkey burgers are cooked, now it's time to build our masterpiece. Let's add our sauteed mushrooms, add some bacon. Now top it with a piece of Swiss cheese and put this back in the oven for just a couple minutes. After the cheese is melted, it's time to sit down and enjoy these broiled bacon Swiss turkey burgers. You can find this recipe at intheskillet.com. And be sure and click on the YouTube icon to see this recipe as well as all of my other In the Skillets. I'm Vicki Porter. Tune in next week to see what's cooking in the skillet.
As fishermen, we're predators, and fish are the prey. In nature, the best fishermen have one thing in common: their eyes. How do you turn your eyes into the eye of a predator? It takes 11 layers of lens technology and a new lens color to make the human eye emulate the eye of a predator. Stop buying glasses for the classes. Make yourself an alpha predator.
Lately, it seems like all I've talked about is everybody getting out and doing some hunting, but I do want to talk right now a little bit to you fishermen. This is a great time to go catch crappie. I know it's almost November, but I used to do quite a few interviews with some of our local crappie fishermen, and almost all of them would say they love November. They love to get out in November because usually the weather's pretty much stationary. You're not getting too bad at the front yet, and things are stabilizing out. Water temperatures are getting pretty good, and the fish are really hungry and really aggressive. So get out there with your light gear, get out there with your jigs or your your minnows and your light gear and go after crappie. Percy Priest is excellent lake this year. So is Old Hickory. If you go down South Timms Ford, has all those docks you can fish, and they provide a lot of fish off. There's a lot of that black nose crappie down there on Timms Ford. Normandy has a good crappie fishery, great big old black nose crappie on it also. And Woods Reservoir this year has been a very hot lake, and a lot of small fish the last few years ought to be coming on and being good keeping size this time of year in Middle Tennessee. So we have some great lakes in Old Cheatham. I want to mention that one, Underfish Lake in Middle Tennessee near Ashland City on the Cumberland River. Excellent lake to go out and get crappie on. Some big fish in some of those creeks there on Cheatham. Get outside, go fishing, 6-pound test, 4-pound test, fish vertical, cast, whatever you can do to catch crappie in Middle Tennessee. And you guys that like to hunt, you keep on hunting, and we fishermen to get out there on the lakes. I'll see you next week right here on Fishin' Affliction.
You know, folks, it's a fact. Your socks are one of the most overlooked items of clothing that you decide to put on your feet. And ever since we've got our Wigwam socks, I can't begin to tell you how comfortable and warm they are, and they keep my feet dry. They have a style for every type of activity that you want to enjoy. Wigwam socks, made in the USA, the Performance Sock Company. Get you several pair of them and try them out, and I promise you, you will be putting on the best sock that you've ever put on your feet. And now back to Fishin' Affliction. Welcome back to Fishin' Affliction TV, and this segment of the show is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water. Akuma, high performance fishing gear. The ever powerful and long lasting Deca batteries. Seagar, always the best. Mustad hooks, stays sharper longer. Onyx life jackets and rain gear, keeping you there. Freybill, trusted gear since 1938. Real Magic, the name says it all. Rugged electronic mounts provided by Ram Mounts. Wigwam Socks, the Performance Sock Company. bbgmarine.com and Tournament Wear. Look great, feel great, do great. For 33 years, tournament fishing. Folks, before we get back to the fishing action as the A-team is throwing that Alabama rig on Guntersville, let's visit with Affliction Pro staffer Pat the Patriot Anderson.
Yeah, I started when I was 16 years old, entered my first fishing derby. It was a fishing derby then, and I won it. Won a tackle box and a rod and reel, and the rest is history.
As I've been listening to you talk this morning, fishing has been something ever since old enough to even just think about doing it.
When I was an infant, my mom and dad would take me ice fishing in an ice sled. They'd pack me up in blankets, and I was literally an infant. I couldn't fish. And they just had me out there on the ice fishing.
And this would have been up in the Chicago area?
Yeah, well, this is up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin? Okay.
Yeah, my uncle has some property up there. My dad and uncle used to go up there quite a bit. Dad would take me up there with him and mom.
Well, show us how you sling the Alabama rig here on Guntersville.
Carefully. Probably weighs about 4 ounces, so you definitely don't want to throw it too hard, or you'll be losing about a $50 to $60 tackle set.
Like somebody in the back of the boat did?
Yeah, I think the satellites are picking that one up still, but not today.
Well, folks, those A-rigs are a little bit difficult to throw, but they sure can catch those big old largemouths.
What'd I tell you? What did I tell you? A little better fish? He looks like he's pulling harder than that one you had before.
Pretty solid fish.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better.
Now, that fish followed the bait all the way to the boat. I mean, he come out of he hit that bait out of deep water.
That's a nice chunk.
Yeah, we're gonna put this one in the box for the end of the day shot. We'll put him in the box.
That's a nice fish there.
We got water running.
I'll have water running quick enough.
Alrighty.
Port side. Oh, starboard. There you go. Is the plug in? You have to look. Not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was empty, the plug is in.
Yeah, it's in. Okay. All right.
Doing anything on your retrieve, big dog? Just doing what you've been doing?
Same deal. They're eating it, you know, when they get it, they've been eating it pretty good.
That one there was acted like the fish was not really relating to the cover. That was a suspended fish.
Yeah, they're suspended. I think they're suspended about 9-10 foot. Because I mean, like I said, 4 and 4 casts, just bang, bang, bang. And down from here to the island, this whole stretch, they've been on pretty good. I'm getting ready what's getting ready to happen. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's a good fish.
Oh, what do you got, Pat?
I'm talking over 5. Good fish. Really good fish. Please, baby, stay buttoned. Please stay buttoned. There's a big fish right here.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, Pat.
That's a big fish.
Oh, man. Come here, baby. Come here, come here. Come here, come here. Oh. Woo-hoo. Woo! I guess your dry spell is over.
Pat, look at the belly.
Look at that. That's over 5. That's way over 5.
Oh, that's got to be near 6 plus?
6, maybe 7. Look at the gut.
Oh, yeah, every bit.
Oh, my gosh, Pat. Hold it again sideways.
That's a good fish.
Man.
I told you.
You did, man. Shadowlicious, swim baits.
I was just holding out.
My gosh, look at that.
Put him in the box.
As long as you're holding out.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Woo! And what happened is he missed it. Or something.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
And then bammo.
And then on.
And that was the importance you talked about, keeping the bait in motion, but nice and easy, no jerking and stuff. Just be patient with it.
Yep, that's
Keep it in the strike zone. Awesome, man. Woo, woo. Big dog. That one looked like it ate your fish.
I'm telling you what, that's a good fish. Ain't no doubt about that.
Woo!
My buddy, he can catch them.
Oh, wait a second. My buddy. That's my buddy. That's my buddy.
My buddy.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm shaking now.
That is awesome, man.
I'm shaking now.
Cool.
That's about a 7-pounder.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big fish. That's got to be one of the biggest bellies I think I've seen. When that fish
all the big fish I've been catching have been just gorged. Big, fat. Fish? Oh, I thought you had a fish. I thought it said fish.
He said the word fish. Well, folks, no wonder this is a certified fan favorite, because this is an unbelievable introduction to that now famous Alabama rig. And when you trick it out with those Strike King Shadowlicious swim baits, those Mustad swim bait hooks, and Seaguard's Kansan braid or Tatsu fluorocarbon, you have the winning combination that's working for the A-Team. And on next week's episode, we're going to continue with the certified fan favorite as we feature part 2 of the A-Team throwing the Alabama rig. So tune in to Fishin' Affliction TV next week and you'll see. Oh my gosh. That's been eating where Pat's fish was eating. Look at the belly on that thing.
Look, he ate 2 of them.
This week's Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend is
Jason Summers.
And thanks for being our Facebook friend. For your chance to join in the fun and become an official Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend, simply like us on Facebook. And be sure to write a comment on our wall. As always, a big thank you to all of our national and local sponsors for providing us with the most advanced technology and highest quality products and services. Be sure to visit each of our partners online through the sponsor links page on our official website at fishandaffliction.com. And this is your old pal Matthew Gillen, the voice of Fishin' Affliction TV, hoping that you'll tune in next week, because there's no doubt that Dan and the Big Dog got it bad. They've got Fishin' Affliction for those who got it bad.
It's real comfortable to wear, keep on in the winter, and or in the summer. It's a lot cooler on you.
Now this next comment will not make TV, but it could be funny. It looks like your inflatable already went off underneath your jacket.
Well, thank you, Dan. When you have pectorials like I do,
when you have pectorals like I do, that's kind of how it looks. If you keep working out, though, I'm sure.
Looks like it's deployed.
The next 4 or 5 years, if you work out every day, you may be able to have you a Mr. Red Starter kit.
They haven't sand kicked in your face. It's deployed. Watch out, Pat. It's deployed.